Hey guys, it's Emma's Pretty Gems here for Emma's Pretty Gems Jewelry Talk. And tonight we are gonna finish up our conversation about scammers versus non-scammers versus customers versus not customers. How can you tell the difference between a scammer and a customer for online shopping? Well, like I said, I had some stories. So another example of how I got almost scammed by somebody is how they had their address and they were very demanding, saying, well, how much is it going to be? What's the total? This, that. And to tell you the truth, they were very persistent on, getting the items ready to go. But the problem was they never paid me in the first place. And that's why I came up with this rule that when you're selling online to somebody, do not send off the stuff until you get paid. It's, protection. Because if you did that, let's say you did do that, you're basically giving that person who's a scammer free piece of jewelry. The hard-earned work that you've put into those pieces of jewelry is now somewhere in a different state. But if you follow my advice on this, and I am telling you for real, listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Do not give out that jewelry unless you get paid through your website. Now, I don't really like to social media is for my jewelry to just, represent my business. Yes, people can buy stuff on Facebook and Instagram and um, TikTok, but I like to do it in person because you see that person, oh, this person has money. You're going to get the money before you give them the piece, but they're going to buy the piece of jewelry in person than online because you never know who's, going to scam you on the internet. It's so different than it was back then, I would say, because it just is. It's so much different now. And we're coming up to like 2026, 26. Uh, Tomorrow, I think, is the New Year's. I could be totally wrong on that, but yeah, tomorrow will be New Year's Eve. So I'm excited for the new year to come around. And that will be also January 1st, or I think it's either January 1st or January 2nd. My jewelry business will be open for 21 years. I know every podcast, like, episode I've talked about that because it's a big deal. It's exciting. It's thrilling that my business is gone above and beyond. And that's why I'm on here to help you guys, my listeners, of getting your business the long ways like I am going to be coming up with my 21 years. And I want your hopes and dreams and your experience to be a very good experience for you. Because I have a lot of, like advice, and I've been through a lot with my jewelry business. And I've seen a lot, and I've done a lot for it as well. And oh, just a little side note, I got my thank you stickers for supporting my business in the mail today. And I'm very excited that a couple more pieces or a couple more things are coming in the mail tomorrow. I'm very excited about that. I think um I think I have four things coming in the mail. Like remember how in one of my segments we were talking about materials and stuff? Well, these ones are going to be very big because they're magnetic glass and they're going to look so good with my jewelry. And I've already used some of my magnetic glass for that. And also, my Fire Mountain Gems order is coming in January 6th. So I'm really excited about that because some of those pieces are going to have something unique that's going to make them look really beautiful for my hearts collection. And I've been working up a storm with all my new pieces, which, like I said, I can't really disclose about, the release yet of my collection. But getting back to scammers versus non-scammers, I mean, in person is really a better bet for you. Just because, you see as you're swiping your credit card or their credit card, and for legit that they're buying your stuff because they're buying it. Not because you think someone's going to try to scam you and say, "Oh, I'm going to buy all your stuff." Yeah, where's the money? And, that's the one thing you just have to be very careful with that, especially this economy now is so different than it was back then. And I highly recommend you take this advice to heart. Never, ever, ever give your jewelry to someone until they pay for that piece of jewelry, because that's not how it's going to work. Because I've had experiences with different scenarios. Like one of them that I really took to heart. I was in a art gallery in downtown St. Paul, Lower Town, and it was called the Show Art Gallery, and it was a really cool place, but it didn't last very long. Um, and I had my stuff in this beautiful little art gallery and this little it's kind of like wall to wall, like little shop. And the owner, I'm not going to disclose her name, for personal reasons. So I basically got a call from her saying, "Hey, did you exchange your earrings?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "Oh my gosh." And she looked, and all the earrings on the earring rack in this little gallery were gone. Someone took them all off the rack and walked out of the building. I lost everything. I lost my will to make more jewelry. I was in a slump. I couldn't get out of it, and it was just devastating. I lost so much. And I'm giving you this story because protecting your jewelry and your business is a big deal. And knowing, who to trust and who not to trust. But I did trust this woman at this art gallery. It wasn't her fault. It just, things happen. Um, People are stupid and they steal stuff because they just want to. And it's hard. It's very hard. And I tell you, but you know what? Someone gave me great advice that even if you lose stuff, you're going to gain something from it. You're going to gain more inventory. You're going to gain more power because you are strong with your jewelry. And I think that's a very important thing. Just like, for instance, for me, I learned in school things about like copywriting that you have to be very careful is when you're going, like, for instance, I told you that resources of Pinterest, right? And it's a place where you can look at people's ideas and try to like take some of that kind of creativeness and try to put it into your own jewelry, like taking that concept of that piece, but taking it away from the artist, but also making it, unique and different. Like for me, I did something with hoop earrings with bicone crystals and 24 gauge wire, which they're very popular. I had to restock a lot of pieces for my some of my art shows that were coming up. And always make sure when you do art shows in the near future, always be careful because a lot of artist friends of mine have gotten stolen from, and it's not fun to get stolen from. But, always just keep an eye on your stuff at all times and always make sure that you count everything when you get home, making sure all your inventory is still accountable. And don't leave things super to the front of your table, but enough so that people can still look and, browse through stuff. And yeah, just always, watch your stuff because it's important to you. Because I take my jewelry business very seriously. And I'm still in the process right now of like getting an email from consignment shops. There's one that's called I Like You Too, and it's going to take 2 to 3 months for them to respond. They have a lot of applications to look through. Or maybe mine wasn't, maybe I need to email another email or something. But I am looking forward to the art shop in Midtown Global Market. I'm hoping that I'll hear from them soon. Hopefully, I'm still waiting. I sent that email, what was it, like 2 weeks ago? And I'm just hoping that I'll hear back from them soon. If not, I'm gonna figure out a way to call them and talk to them. And yeah, those are the things that sometimes you need to do when you have a business to run. Is always make sure that, you talk to the people who are in charge of consignment shops and giving a very brief and very good professional email with photos and pricing. Just like I said in some of my segments of this podcast, is always make sure you have a good list of your inventory and making sure all your prices are at the at the right spot where you need them to be at, and making sure that everything is correct because you just want to make sure everything's in the right spot for when you show them your inventory list. That's why, like I said, in some of our segments, we've talked about photography and pricing and always finding that right price, that key pricing for your jewelry. Like, for example, I mean, you can take this or leave it or whatever you want to do with it, but I usually do when I do earring sales, I do $18 for one pair of earrings, or buy two, get the third ones for free. And those kind of deals are pretty popular, I would say. Especially like if I do my bracelets or my rings, or this new invention that I'm working on is called Daisy Chain, and I'm doing it with stretch cord, and it's been going really well. It's just sometimes it can be a little bit of a process, but it's okay because that's, I watch shows while I'm working on jewelry, and listening to music is always a good thing to do when you're trying to get creative. And last night I was having a little bit of a creative block. I was making a lot of good pieces. It's just sometimes it was hard because my brain was like, oh my gosh, getting overwhelmed with stuff. And sometimes when you do that, when you have that issue, it is always good to take a break. Always take a break and just realize that, oh, I need to go upstairs for a minute. I need to just do things for myself for a minute and then come back down. And sometimes the creative juices come back and sometimes they don't. I mean, yeah. And then, like I said, I'm going to be setting up an email thing so you guys can send me emails and you can always ask me questions. And I'm supposed to be getting this really cool book very soon so that I can answer questions for you guys on here as well, especially that you guys can comment on YouTube. So that's one great thing about that. And I just hope everyone is having a good weekend or week. And I hope that this will help you guys with your journey of making jewelry and being creative and being passionate about what you love to do. And I'm doing this for people who really want to learn, people who want to be creative and passionate about what they love to do. And I remember when I was first starting out, I would be working on projects until like, gosh, I didn't even realize what time it was. And I look at my phone and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm working on pieces of jewelry. And I would listen to music, I would enjoy my time. And I'm so sorry that I keep talking about my anniversary of 21 years and every segment I've talked about it because I'm very excited and I'm looking forward to it. And I hope you guys have this much excitement and passion and the love of jewelry making like I do. And that is why I'm sharing with all my secrets and my traits and my skills and my passion for it. Well, I just wanted to say, you guys, it's been so awesome that you guys are going to be supporting me on this podcast. I am so excited to get to know each and every one of my listeners. So, you guys have an awesome night, and thank you for tuning in tonight for Emma's Jewelry Talk. This is Emma's Pretty Gems signing off. Have a good night, everyone.